Hi, I'm Alicia and welcome to my channel Papercraft Secrets. Today I'm talking about the new Mintay Chippies. Have you seen them? They've just been released and there's a variety of different types of chipboard that we can now add to our Mintay projects. In this video I'm going to talk through all of the new Mintay 12x12 chipboard pieces. And then, because I couldn't resist, at the end of the video, I actually have a go at creating a layout with one of the Mintay Chippies. So I did a little bit of experimenting with some paint, some inks, some stamping, and I just had a lot of fun basically and got creative and popped one of these onto a layout. So let's get started and I'll show you each one of the chipboards and then we'll get into what you can do with them at the end of the video. This is probably one of my favorites. This is a 12x12 page and it has just lots and lots of titles that you can use on your scrapbook layouts, and the font is beautiful. And I really do think that this is going to be a very, very popular chipboard, so get straight in and buy that one because that one will go straight away. This one here is the one that I actually used at the end of the video, and it's just like a large doily. It's a 12x12 size. I'm just going to pop it out of the background so that we can see it properly. I'm just using a sharp blade because there's a little section just holding the chipboard in there, which really needs a little blade to sort of just cut that out a little bit. There we go. Look at that beautiful doily. Now, don't throw away these scraps because these can actually be used underneath your layers in a layout or a card. So definitely keep those. Instead of your recycled paper, cardboard, you can use this chipboard. Now look at that doily, isn't that beautiful? This one here, this is all different little houses. Let's take a look at this one. Yep, so you've got 6 houses on this sheet and the word home. You can see where there's just that little bit of attachment there. You just need to be careful when you're getting them out that you can sort of cut that carefully. And we can see our little house there. That would be great to use on a layout or on a card. And there's lots of houses there that you can certainly use. Let's move on now. Let's have a look at this one. This is a large mandala style chipboard piece. And this one here is a tree, sort of like a family tree style chipboard piece. There's only a couple of little bits holding it in there, so let's just cut this out so we can have a really good look at it. There we go. Isn't that amazing? That's a beautiful tree. Might just need to like sand those little bits back a little bit. Look at that. It's beautiful. Remember, keep your scraps because you can use those in between your layers. This is a beautiful love heart. This one has just got a couple little bits there. Just pop that out carefully. Now this would look great on a layout. beautiful. So what could we do with these Mintay Chippies? We can certainly cover them in paint, some gesso, some ink, some stamping, some texture paste, some stenciling. Certainly lots and lots and lots of creative ways that we can use these new things on our layouts. This one here is like a frame style. It's quite a large piece, that one. What else have we got here? This is a heart. Let's have a look at the heart. So it's got like a filigree edge around it, which is very beautiful. I can just pop that one out and just use my blade on that bit there. This is very pretty, perfect for weddings, Valentine's Day, anniversaries. Let's have a look at this one. This one is like a square frame with a filigree border around it. That's very pretty, and this is a circle with the filigree border all the way around it. This would look really pretty covered in glitter or embossing powder. Really get that lovely sparkle to it, or some very sparkly shiny paint. Let's have a look at this one. This one has got home in the middle of it, and it's sort of like a doily shape. Now those arrows would certainly pop out, and so would the letters home. So there's a couple of ways you could use those things. Look at this one, Corolla's famous shutters. This is 2 pieces. There's a few little bits that are just holding it in there into the frame. Just thinking this would look great as a layer on a layout. Gives some extra height to a layout. It could certainly be cut up as well and used on cards. I really can't wait to see what people do with these chippies. I think that the projects that are going to be created will be simply amazing. What else have we got here? Here's another one. This is a very busy home page with sort of like a lovely tree around it. That one pulled out really easily, and the little door comes out as well. That's gorgeous. Now this one here, these are smaller chippies, so let's have a look. We've got some doilies, some love hearts, and they seem to pull out quite easily. I love the love hearts. Isn't that pretty? Oops, see, you've just got to be a little bit careful. Just use your blade to just get them out, don't just rip them out. Here's another mandala style. These would be great for cards, but also as a decoration on layouts. Lovely. So lots of those on that 12 by 12 sheet. I love this love heart, isn't it gorgeous? It's like a filigree love heart. I won't get them all out now. What else have we got here? Is there anything else that we haven't looked at? We've got our shutters, we've got the home one, we've got the filigree circle and the filigree square, the filigree love heart, the frame, ornate frame, the filigree love heart, the tree. We've got the mandala, the houses, and the doily. So look at all of that. Tell me in the comments what you would create with all of these amazing chipboards, or tell me what you would like to see created with them. It's certainly it's a very new and very exciting product. I really am looking forward to seeing how people use them. So it's 12 by 12 inches sheet of chipboard elements ready to decorate as you wish. So it is an open-ended creative process here. And you know what, I'm just a little bit curious. I just want to see how these take to some inks or some paints. So let's just have a little play and see what we can come up with. I'm just going to start by rubbing it over with an ink pad, and this is a gold ink pad, and you can see how easily this is taking the colour and how quickly I'm doing this. This isn't a very time consuming thing at all, and it's very clean, a very clean way to colour your chipboard. Certainly not, it's a mess free sort of way of doing it, and an easy and quick way of doing it, and in just a few minutes I've got that whole chipboard coloured in, and that looks pretty. I'm just wondering though, how the paints will take to the chipboard. So I thought I might just have a little try here at painting some of this paint, the sparks paint across the top here around the edges. And it's again a very gold colour, sparkly gold colour. I kind of feel like saying for my next trick I will try this. This was sort of just me experimenting, but I thought let's just see if we put a little layer of gesso over the top. Does that change the way the paint is applied, or the finish of the paint? So I thought I'd give that a little try and just paint half of this inner circle with some white gesso to just see what that does. And then while we're waiting for that to dry, let's have a try with some stamping. My favourite stamp and some ink. Let's just try that stamping straight onto our ink there, and as you can see that takes beautifully. That stamping really did come up nicely just on that inked chipboard. What else can we try, especially while we're waiting for this gesso? Is it dry yet? Not yet. Let's just try putting some paint straight down here. And let's see the difference, whether we can see much of a difference between adding that layer of gesso or just painting the paint straight onto the chipboard. These paints are beautiful, by the way. They've got such a lovely shimmer to them. It's really bringing the doily out, the shape, and the colours are going to be nice. So there's an example of the stamping on the gesso as opposed to the stamping onto the ink. So it does come out quite a bit darker. Let's have a try now with the painting. It's going on well. I'm thinking we might put a bit more gesso on this side, just even it out a bit, so that as we do the painting, that'll give it a nice even finish. Now while we're waiting for that paint to dry, let's finish off the edge of the doily here in the gold paint. So we're actually painting over our ink. The ink was nice, don't get me wrong, but the paint looks prettier, I think. It's much more sparkly, so it gives a different look, different effect. That gesso's dry now, so let's just add pink to the middle. And probably a bit of gold as well, just to sort of blend it a little bit so it's not sort of so pink and gold. Now I'm going to add a little bit of this in, just with my finger. I'm just going to experiment with what this looks like. And I'm actually loving how this goes in. This is like a wax. And I can just use that with my finger. You can use a brush as well if you don't like to get your fingers dirty. This is adding a lot of vibrant colour to the doily. And you know what this colour reminds me of? It reminds me of the Glam Rock collection. So I'm sort of thinking maybe we could put this doily onto a layout using the Glam Rock collection. I'm just going to go around the edges and just ink the edges in like a dark bark colour, which will just sort of age it a little bit, give it a bit more of a vintage look. And then I'm going to try even stamping over the top. And the stamp doesn't come out as well as it did on the gesso, but it's still there and it still gives us sort of a nice vintage effect, even though we've got so much shimmering gold and so much bright pink. I'm just going to dirty it up a little bit with this ink. Now I have to say that this was a lot of fun to add the colours to this Mintay Chippy. I can only imagine what some of the mixed media artists will do with this. I thought, let's just put this into a layout while we're here. I've chosen a page from the Glam Rock collection and it is just a very dark black denim sort of page. So I thought that would be a good background for this beautiful colourful doily that we've created today. And I'm just going to glue that straight onto the page because there's not a lot of options there with how I want to do it. I want to keep it whole, so just going to glue that straight into the middle of the page. Now I've chosen this page here from the Glam Rock collection and I'm going to fussy cut these floral clusters with all the bits and pieces in them for my layout. Now this was actually a fairly challenging piece to fussy cut and I was a little bit impatient. I find the best way to relax while fussy cutting is to listen to something or watch something while you're cutting. So I popped a podcast on while I cut this out just to sort of chill me down a little bit and allow me to enjoy the cutting rather than just quickly wanting it all done. It's got the leather jacket on the bottom here, so it's a very character piece. I think it will be nice though if we're going to put this on the sort of top left hand corner of the doily. Just like that. It's a beautiful piece, isn't it? Gorgeous. Look at the colours. Don't the colours match our doilies so well? Now here we go. This is how we can use our little leftover bits of chippy. You can just glue that straight onto our paper so that we have a little bit of dimension in our layouts. That's beautiful. This is actually my first time using the Glam Rock collection. I have been a little bit shy of the really dark colours, but I think when I used that wax onto the chipboard, that was when I was just like, okay, let's really have a go with these bright colours. actually fussy cut that out off camera to save you having to sit through a little bit more fussy cutting. And I thought, why not just stick to this similar design? This is actually a very simple layout that we're creating here now, because we've got the doily as our main showpiece, and then we've got these two big floral clusters that are going to go diagonally from corner to corner. And then we're just going to have one simple 3x4 photograph in the middle of this layout. And I don't have a photograph, so I'm just using a piece of white cardstock. And I thought, what about some flowers? We could put 3 flowers together here. And we've got this lovely little chippy heart that we could use, because there's hearts all through this Glam Rock collection, and there's one just there. And we've got some more flowers and some gold sort of lace. And then I thought, well, why don't we utilize one of those titles? We can put that somewhere up here. And that'll be our layout basically done. So let's glue on our flowers. You could use any flowers that you have. Now, where to put the bottom flowers? That's the question. Do we want to cover that up? I'm thinking that the flowers need to be in a sort of a diagonal line to sort of tie in with the floral clusters. Let's pop them down here somewhere. That's just a bit of gold lace that I've tied into a bow. Just sort of pick up the gold. Now I'm going to reach for this wax again, because this was really a very easy way to get a lot of colour onto the chipboard. So I'm just going to give that a go. It's very easy to do it with your finger, and you get such a vibrant result so easily. We'll put a little bit of pink onto this love heart. It's like the eye, the dot for the J. And then I thought, let's just add a bit of that bark ink to just sort of dirty it up a little bit. That is so pretty. You know, there could be some sort of photograph on this layout. Leather jacket, perhaps. Person wearing a leather jacket, or a singer, or someone doing their makeup. Just pop that there. Add our little dot for the J. And then we'll do the same to this heart. Just rub the wax on with our fingers. And then I'm just going to fill in the gaps with the ink. So this ink pad will probably end up in the bin after this, because it's dried out a lot and it's now mixed with wax. But they're only very, very cheap ink pads. Just a few little bits of the wax going in the filigree part of the heart. And we can just glue that on. It's looking quite pretty, isn't it? That chipboard piece, the big doily piece, really does make the layout pop on the dark denim paper. The last thing I'm going to do is just add in a bit of black lace as well to the floral cluster, just to add sort of a little bit of black in there. And that's pretty much the layout all finished. It was fun to create. I enjoyed it. You can add a little bit of bling if you wanted to, but I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. Let me know what you think about the new Mintay Chippies. I'm dying to see what people create with these. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had a great time creating this in the middle of the night. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely crafty day.